Ah. What's up, guys? Terrell here. Doing another vlog, but this one's a vlog response. If you're wondering where I'm at, I don't think I've ever recorded here, actually. Well, I have, but I don't think I ever uploaded any videos. This is my living room. This is my living room. I just got home from doing a whole bunch of shit. It's Friday, and I wanted to do a response. I actually wanted to do this yesterday, but I was feeling so much like shit. I kind of like got home and passed the fuck out. And I didn't even wake up until like 11 o'clock, and I was like, fuck, I haven't eaten dinner. And then I just went back to sleep like 2 hours later. So I didn't even eat dinner last night. But the response I want to do is make to, I guess it's to J-Man's vlog channel, so J-Man Vlogs. And I want to make it to his whole thing on Naruto opening versus One Piece opening. And he said it was a draw. Now, I'm going to get lambasted, but at this point I've been lambasted for this kind of shit all the time anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. And I haven't made a response to J-Man in a while, so here's my thing. I'm going to judge these openings purely for the arcs they're supposed to represent, and just the music choices and just how they addressed everything. My whole thing is, I disagree. I think the One Piece opening was better. And you're probably going to think, oh, here comes the One Piece bias again. And, you know, I'll get those comments, and I don't really give a shit. I get those comments all the time. I like One Piece better, but in openings, the music to me was a draw. Like, the music itself was a draw. That's not what One Piece 1 wasn't because of the music. I like both songs. Honestly, I do like the One Piece opening more, but that's just, to me, I'll say that's a One Piece bias, probably. Like, the Naruto song is catchy, but comes off really weird. And J-Man, the thing about your video I had a problem with was, like, you said that the One Piece music was very One Piece-y, but you were expecting something, you were hoping for something new or more. And for the Naruto opening, you were happy because it was exactly what you wanted. You shouldn't have went into the video like that, to me, because you should have judged it not what you wanted it by. Because it's like, to me, that's going into your own personal bias. To me, I do prefer the One Piece music. But the thing is that does the music fit with the opening? And the music does. They both fit with the opening. I know that wasn't the whole what you judged it on. You judged it on numerous things. The reason why I can't give it to the Naruto one is because it doesn't do for the arc it's about what it doesn't complement the arc it's representing. It's not hyping that at all. It's kind of hyping it, but it doesn't hype everything. One Piece does, and here's what I mean. One Piece, I'm assuming this opening is going to carry over until near the end of Fishman Island. That's what I'm assuming. If not the end, then near the end of Fishman Island. The music is really One Piece-y, campy, but like really inspiring, and that's how this arc has been. This arc doesn't have any ridiculously down moments because everything in this arc has been really hyper and really like campy as shit. I don't know how to explain it. Explaining it is like, I could take almost any scene from this current arc and this song would work except for maybe the Oda Hime flashback. And even then, that flashback ended on a good note, so it wasn't like the music still works with everything in the fucking saga. If you were to criticize anything, honestly, I would criticize the previous openings. The reason why you think the One Piece opening, this one seems campy as shit, or One Piece, way too One Piece-y, is because the other openings aren't dark. All the other openings are very upbeat, which they really shouldn't have been, because they're representing like the worst portions. They're representing like the darkest points in Luffy's mind. Like the last two openings represented the fucking war and the flashback. Those should have been fairly dark, but they're not. They're very hopeful and whatnot. The thing about the Naruto one is the Naruto one, the main thing I like about the Naruto one is the Naruto one was pretty funny. And it was funny because of the what the fuck factor. It was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like I can't. If anyone were to tell me they didn't laugh when they watched that fucking opening, I call bullshit, because that opening was funny as hell. But in terms of it representing the Kushina stuff, not really. Not really. Because the Kushina stuff is a mixture of inspiring but dark. If I had to say an opening it should have been close to opening number 4. Honestly. You wanna know why, and I also know why you liked it so much. Because it represents what Naruto openings used to be what Naruto used to be. Naruto used to be more lighthearted and campy. It's not. The last lighthearted campy opening was fucking opening Shippuden opening 2. Yeah, opening 2 was like the last hyper campy opening. Because after that, it just went into a small decline of either hopeful but mildly depressing or just straight out depressing. This opening 3 and 4 for Shippuden were kind of inspiring. They were still kind of dark but inspiring. That's how this should have been. It should have been ridiculously campy because this is going over all the Kushina stuff, I'm assuming. If that's the case, that means it's supposed to be addressing the. It's supposed to be. I can't even imagine looking at this opening during the Minato Kushina flashback shit because it's gonna be depressing as fuck. I mean, it wasn't like the One Piece one where the Orihime stuff ended with the renewed faith in Orihime's ideals. It wasn't like it ended like that. Fucking the Naruto, the Kushina stuff flashback ends up with them both dying. It ends up with Madara winning that flashback. Like that's not like this. I can see this being really good during the Naruto versus Kyuubi fights, but this opening doesn't represent the entirety of the arc. It represents certain portions. On top of that, this next point to me is a nitpick because this is just something I have wrong with Naruto openings. I hate Naruto openings. I think it was this one in the fucking Pain Invasion arc opening that really pissed me off, where they had the tendency to show like the characters doing things that they don't ever do. Because the one thing about an opening, people forget what an opening is for, is to get you hyped for future episodes. Yeah, it's supposed to get you hyped for future episodes and represent the arcs you're going into. That's the problem with this fucking opening. This opening is a little bit too random. There's only maybe like one hint of anything that actually happens. And that's the fucking him hugging Dark Naruto shit. And that doesn't even last that long. It's like, and also and the fact that they played down the reviving of Akatsuki arc shit. That was a little bit too campy, and that kind of bugged the shit out of me because it made it come off as a joke. And honestly, this opening, I'm not saying the opening doesn't work for a Naruto opening. I think this opening would have worked better for the war, ironically. And you're probably thinking, why the war? Because the war, it would have been, to me, it would have worked because the war's been kind of lighthearted. So, I mean, for the most part, the war's been lighthearted. So this opening would have worked for the war. I don't think this opening should have been for this portion. This should have had like like opening 4 type of music, where it built up, like it had its depressing points when you saw Kushina die in the flashback and shit, and like just slowly went up and showed Naruto doing that pose he does in one of those chapters when his mom asks, "What do you get when you cross the red hair Hannibal?" I believe is what her nickname was, or the bloody Hannibal in the Yellow Flash. You get the Leaf Village's #1 orange knuckleheaded ninja. That's what that should have been. It should have been like, it should have started off with Naruto in his depression state, fighting his dark self, and then going against the Kyuubi, and then his mom coming in, and it just building up higher and higher to where he was at this triumphant moment. He smashed the shit out of fucking Kisame. That's what it should have did. This opening doesn't reflect anything. It doesn't even get me hyped for the episodes. I'll put it this way. It puts a smile on my face. I'll say that much. It's funny as shit to watch. But even then, it stops being funny after a point. That was like its major. The two major things about this thing was the song and the anime and what it's building for. It's not really hyping me for Kushina stuff. I mean, for God's sake, you don't even see Kushina until the ending. In the ending song, why the fuck is the ending? Why is Kushina in the ending and not in the opening? I guess like the ending's fine, but that opening is just a little too off, and I can't draw it. Now to go into the One Piece one to me reflects everything about the series. Now, as I said, the nitpick was that I don't really like the fact that Naruto openings have the tendency to show characters doing shit they don't actually do, like the fucking like the Naruto red, like orange explosion bullshit, and the fucking lightning shock, which I thought was retarded, because why would you do a move that people relate to fucking Sasuke with? I was like, you just had to hint Sasuke somewhere in this bitch, didn't you? I was happy that Sasuke wasn't in it, not because I don't like him, but because he has nothing to do with the Kushina stuff. Also, like the whole Killer Bee sections. Like, I thought those were funny. him running, like him swimming and running, that was a nice opening. But I don't feel like it should have stayed. It was literally lighthearted the entire way through, and that kind of pissed me off. It shouldn't have been lighthearted the entire way through, because this isn't a lighthearted arc. This isn't like a happy-go-lucky arc. This is a very dark, deep and emotional arc for Naruto and Kushina. This should not have been as campy as it was. Now, my thing with the One Piece opening is, the One Piece opening reflected what it was supposed to reflect. This is a response to We Go. This handled the arc it was going into perfectly, except for maybe one. I think there was two portions I didn't like. The portion I didn't like was, you know, the portion where they do the strobe effect and show like everyone they've been working with, and then they cut into like the Fishman Island stuff hints. Like they show glimpses of Shirahoshi and the brothers and King Neptune and Vanderdeck and shit. I felt like they should have showed everything. Like they should have showed everything from fucking Captain Morgan and Kobe to fucking and I think the only reason why they didn't do that is because I thought that was kind of lame, and I don't know if it was just because of the animation constraints, but that kind of bugged me. And as I said, my favorite part about that opening to me, I'll agree with you on this, Jay, is that fucking Gold Roger section where they show young Gold Roger and they did like the 360 pan and it turned into Shanks, and then they did the 360 pan and it turned into him giving the hat to Luffy, and then Luffy did the 360 pan. I thought that was really fucking good. Also, like, if you notice, the music even hits the key when he puts the hat on his head. It's like, din, 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 and he puts the hat on his head. I was like, oh shit, that was nice. The only thing I didn't like is that I believe near the end of that opening, I think the animation kind of dropped for that final pan of the crew, which kind of bugged me. And I only noticed it mainly with Brooke. Brooke and some of the characters in the background really bothered me. That was like my biggest issue. Other than that, like, I don't have any issues with the One Piece opening because it reflects the arc. It's campy as shit, but it's not reflecting a death. It's not reflecting a dark arc. It's not reflecting something that's really fucking life-threatening. The reason why the One Piece opening to you doesn't come off as good is because almost all the One Piece openings kind of blend together in terms of sound. None of the openings are dark, honestly. Even the Thriller Bark opening wasn't, which is Jungle P. Jungle P is not a dark opening. It didn't get, I don't feel like the openings got better I think the openings until the War Arc and the Kaze, I forgot to pronounce it, there's it's the end of the Impel Down going into Marineford. That opening, I feel like was not really placed well because it sounds really random. And I feel like, but that's my whole thing, is that not all One Piece openings are perfect, but I think this one was pretty fucking close to what it was representing. That's my whole thing against the Naruto opening. Not that the song sounded bad, not that the animation was shit, not that it wasn't funny or enjoyable to watch, just it doesn't represent the series. It doesn't represent the portion of the series it's supposed to cover. Like, Hero's Comeback was a great opening because it represented the beginning. And it was fucking hype, like it was supposed to be. That's why We Go is the same thing for fucking Time Skip One Piece. It represents the opening like it's supposed to. But this one, considering this is supposed to represent Kushina stuff, it should have been like closer. Where it was like depressing mildly and hopeful, because closer represents what? The Hidana Kakazu arc, which is essentially the low point is Asuma dying, and the triumphant moment is fucking Shikamaru inheriting the Will of Fire and shit, and Naruto learning the Rasen and fucking Shuriken, and them both wrecking niggas. That's how it goes, low point to high point. Whereas with this one, there is no low point to high point. Everything is just high and funny, which is horrible. Unless they intend to make the Kushina arc really fucking campy, that's not gonna work. That's my biggest thing against it. Because like when you get to this isn't gonna work for the beginning of the fucking Kushina stuff. Like, this opening will be fine when we get past when we get to Naruto and his triumphant moment. But before that, we're just in this fucking depression of like him going against the evil within his heart. Him finally taking over the Kyuubi and and going into this ridiculous low state because he actually is about to lose that fight until Kushina saves him. There's too many dark moments in the beginning that fucks up that opening. Like, this opening is going to sound really off for the series until about halfway through the Kushina stuff. And that's the problem I have with it. That's why I can't call it a draw. Mainly just because of that. Because it doesn't represent the arc. That's my only complaint with it. It does not represent the Kushina arc at all. At all, actually. No, it doesn't. This will be fine for the war, maybe. Even then, it's still random as shit. Like, I feel like it's too campy and too random. Like, I don't mind it being like this, but as I said, it should have been like Closer. It should have built up to a triumphant point. The Closer starts off kind of depressing. It's like the dun 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 dun, then it builds up and you got this kick-ass chorus. Whereas this one is just like, this is campy the entire way through. I mean, fuck, for God's sakes, it starts with the like that's not even low at all. Like to me that's my biggest issue. And it kind of sucks because the song isn't gonna really click with me until. Also, that's the other problem. The song isn't that addictive. It comes off as campy as shit. And Naruto campy isn't really. I haven't heard it in a while, so it comes off as weird as shit to me. And I'm still not addicted to the song. Mind you, I'm not addicted to We Go either, but I'm enjoying. But I'll replay the shit out of We Go. I'm not addicted to it. Like, I still say the best song I've been addicted to so far is the Hunter x Hunter ending. I still think the Hunter x Hunter ending is better than both of those. But that's my whole response. I think I've talked for way too long. But, yeah. I don't know why I had my hands up like I was going to do something. Roller coaster ride! Woo! Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little out of it. But yeah, that's my response. So, this has been the Vlogs Again from your boy Terrell. That's my response in terms of the openings. Which ones do you like better and what's your reason why? And I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Again, I have to walk over here, turn off the fucking camera.